Over the last few episodes, we've taken a look at what it means to be an entrepreneur and what exactly a business is. But many of you may be wondering, how exactly do you come up with the idea for your business in the first place? Let's turn to the YEA Ideator and see if any of the ideas in there could spark some ideas for you. Many entrepreneurs start a business that's similar to one that already exists. In many ways, it's the best way to get started. But in these cases, you just need to accept you're going into business with existing competition. Alternatively, you could start a business that does something entirely new, with a clear playing field in front of you. But it's sometimes very difficult to find the right gap. Business ideas come from a range of different places, and it's worthwhile spending some time having a really good think at quite a few ideas before deciding on any particular one. As we have previously covered, there are quite a few different reasons why entrepreneurs start up a business. Some entrepreneurs start with a hobby that they want to build a business around. Think about the surf dude from episode 3 that started a surf school, or Bobby who started a business selling plants and he loved spending time with the allotment with his cousin Eitan. Other entrepreneurs wanted to improve a product or service that already existed. Destiny started a cooking business at school, which was going into direct competition with Stella, who was in a year above her. Stella seemed to be doing really well sewing her hazelnut brownies. Destiny thought she could outsell her with her aunt's magical chocolate chip cookie recipe. And some entrepreneurs see a gap in the market or have a problem they want to try and solve. Javier created a tutoring app for PE-GCSE that really helps students improve their performance in practical assessments. Business ideas won't always come easily. Often it takes a bit of time. But if you look at mine, think hard, and even use some suggestions from our platform, you'll soon realize that there's far more inspiration out there than you may think.
Get my ideas from talking to people, going out and doing things, and saying yes. Saying yes when someone says, would you like to do this? Would you like to give this a go? Be the person that's always happy to help, because you never know where that opportunity will take you. When I was 18, I went traveling around the world. Lucky for some, you may say, but I worked as I did it. And I was staying in Guatemala building houses, and this lady had these bananas on the table dipped in chocolate. A year later, I started selling chocolate dipped bananas in Camden Market. Now, at that point that I saw those bananas in Guatemala, I didn't think to myself, oh, this is going to be my business. That's it. I've been looking for a food business. I'm going to do this. So, as I said before, opportunity, be open to all things, go and explore.
Look at market trends throughout the world. I talk to people.
From traveling, eating in restaurants, and reading recipes.
Definitely directly from customers, paying attention to them, listening to them.
So in terms of business ideas, it's really the easiest way to think about it is like, is there a problem in your own little environment which you want to solve? So do you wake up in the morning and you think like, oh, I wish I could, I don't know, brush my teeth quicker, or do I want to have my coffee ready the minute I wake up? So it is those type of problems which when you think like, oh, I don't actually know any solution for it, and these are the best problems to solve.
I'll generally get my best business ideas one of two main ways, to be honest. The first one being when actually experiencing a problem myself that I think should be solved, or I may have the means or ability or contacts to be able to try and solve. The second way actually is doing something completely unrelated. It might be in the shower, might be on a walk, but generally that's when I have a bit more mind space and freedom to actually ideate a bit more deeply.
Wherever the seed of your business idea comes from, it naturally starts small and then needs a lot of ideating. Ideating means coming up with creative ideas or new solutions. People use lots of techniques to ideate, but we think that mind maps are a great place to start. A mind map is a collection of your thoughts, presented using a visual diagram, and many of you would have used them at school. The main idea or theme for your business is placed in the centre of the mind map, and all other ideas are then arranged around it. To get going with a mind map, begin with the main concept for your business and write it in the centre of the map. Then, add branches to the main concept, one by one. We'd suggest some branches initially covering basic things such as products, services, and customers. In time, each of these branches may sprout further branches which will allow you to develop your thinking further. But for now, we're going to go to an example and keep it really simple. Let's look at how Harry built a mind map for his vegan baking business. Harry puts vegan baking right in the centre of his mind map. And next, he draws 3 main branches: products, services, and customers. First, Harry looks at the products branch. It's easy for him because he recently baked some delicious cakes that went down super well at the Vate. He writes down brownies, carrot cake, and bubblegum cookies. And he's always complete with the products branch. And then he has a business brainwave. Personalization, he thinks. He could personalize his cakes and cookies to sell them at a higher price and make his customers feel special. That could really set his business apart. Harry thinks he's onto something here, but his mind map has allowed him to start thinking about all the different products. And now, with the products branch done, Harry focuses on the next branch of services. In an ideal world, Harry wants a business involved with vegan baking that offered both products and the services. Harry thinks that by offering a service alongside his products, it would be a great idea. He quickly comes up with 2 ideas and adds them to his mind map: delivery and classes. He could deliver his brownies to customers and could even offer classes to teach vegan baking. 2 branches down and onto the final branch, customers. Harry writes down 3 places where he can find his first customers: school, the swimming club, and online. There are so many families at the swimming club and at school who are vegan. He thinks they would be great early customers. And now, with his mind map version 1.0 finished, Harry sits back and sees if he can draw some links and think of a business idea to kick him off. Harry links a few of the bubbles together to get his first 2 business ideas. Idea 1 is a product idea. Brownies, that are personalised, sold in both the school and the swimming club. And idea 2 is a service idea. Home delivered, bubblegum cookies, branded as Harry's cookies, and all sold online. Harry sits back. He's not sure if either of these ideas are any good. Are they a lifestyle business? Are they scalable? Good ideas, not good ideas? What do you think? Harry's not sure yet, but at least it's a start. And Harry's pleased with himself for at least coming up with his first 2 ideas. Getting that right idea to start your business is very important, but not finding the perfect idea to begin with should certainly not be holding you back.
When it comes to new businesses, things don't often turn out the way you plan. Some of the very best businesses starting on direction, but when an entrepreneur realizes they aren't going as intended, which is pretty common, they decide to change direction. And this is called pivoting. A pivot is a change in direction from an original plan. There are lots of examples where pivots have resulted in much stronger businesses being developed, and pivoting is seen as a very positive and necessary thing to do to maximize your chance of success. It can sometimes be tough to accept that your first idea may not be the best and may even have failed, but entrepreneurs are often praised for discussing their failures and showing how they've adapted. In business, failure is a valuable experience and an essential part of the entrepreneurial journey. Most entrepreneurs will say that they didn't really start learning until they'd had a failure.
A pivot is where you really change direction, and actually before COVID 2020 I'd never really heard the word much. Through COVID we did pivot because we ended up selling groceries as a cake business and doing various different things. So prior to COVID we'd never pivoted. We did pivot during COVID. We've definitely pivoted back after COVID back to our kind of core plans and aims as a business, but prior to that we'd never pivoted.
So we started off just doing dressings, and then I very quickly realised that the dressings market wasn't actually big enough, so we pivoted into mayonnaises.
So my business has pivoted quite a few times. It originally started off as a booking platform for emerging artists, which then quickly pivoted onto a social streaming platform when we saw how much bigger the market was and the demand was. Ultimately, every business is going to pivot at the early stages. It's near impossible it won't, and it's just something that you have to deal with, and usually is for the best.
So my current business, One Club, for example, has pivoted almost on a daily basis. So having established about a year ago, we started off focusing on Web3 and blockchain, for example, and we pivoted to focusing on a very different target market. Because not only did the market sentiment change for the space we were in, the ability for people to understand the market and actually having conversations with our target market, we realized we needed to take a completely different approach. And that meant a massive pivot over the course of 3 to 6 months.
We've pivoted quite a lot. One of the times would be after realizing influencer marketing is here to stay, we focused a lot more on that in our business.
4 years after starting the business, we moved from executive learning to VR technology. We created the software, we pivoted our full business that way, took a massive risk. It's really paid off now. 3 years later, we're a full VR business, and we've got big funding, international funding, and now we're trying to go global.
Some of the coolest business success stories come from pivots. Take Qtol, which was originally designed as a cleaning product for household use. It was a dough-like substance, and it had lots of competition as there were so many similar products like it out there. One day, the man who founded Qtol heard of a teacher who was using the product in their arts and craft classes, and it worked amazingly. So the business pivoted. They kept the same product, but Qtol was quickly rebranded and sold as Play-Doh. It was promoted as a kids product, and it grew to become the multi-billion-dollar business that we know today. Amazon is another great example. Back in 1994, Amazon started as a website for buying and selling books. But after hearing that his customers were sending him more and more emails asking for a broader range of products, founder Jeff Bezos pivoted his business. Amazon, the business set up to be a book-only retailer that Bezos had always dreamt about, pivoted to become the absolutely gigantic retailer that we all know today. Just remember, a simple idea can grow into a successful business, and being open to change can lead to even greater success. So when you're coming up with your very first business idea, or pivoting to improve an existing one, remember that every business starts with a spark of creativity and a lot of determination. Don't be afraid to try new things, make mistakes, and always keep moving forward. You've now finished episode 4 on ideation and pivoting. And next time we're going to look at episode 5, what is a business plan?